Hey, this is Chantel Girardi from Online Business Marketing, and today we're going to be talking about competitors analysis. Competitors analysis is probably one of the most underutilized strategies that business owners fail to do. And the reason I say that is because when I do this exercise with people, most of the clients that I work with have never done this before. And on top of it, when they do it, they absolutely notice paramount changes. Sorry, just pushing the puppy outside because he's harassing the 9-year-old dog. So separating them for a moment. So competitors analysis is absolutely huge. The next thing is that I'm going to show with you today as well that I'm going to give you the whole sequence of how you can actually use GPTs for this as well. So in the olden days, which was like, a year ago, we didn't have ChatGPT and we would have to do it with our noggins, our brains. However, now there are actually GPTs that can assist you with this. So I'm going to go through the process of that as well. So I'm going to teach you how to do the HR, which is the human intelligence. I'm going to teach you how to then use AI to help it. But more importantly, what I want to say is the whole point of competitors analysis is not so that you can go and copy your competitors. It is around you being able to differentiate yourself, because marketing is not what you do that's the same as everyone else. It's what you do that's different. So it's about going out and having a look at who your competitors are, what are they doing, but what do you do differently so that you can bring that to the forefront when it comes to your marketing. So it's an absolutely powerful tool for you to be able to do. It's a really exciting thing to do as well. When you start getting into it, it's actually pretty cool. And you can start to identify those gaps. You can start to differentiate your offerings and how you communicate it. And you can start to refine your marketing strategy as part of that. So I'm going to go step by step with you, specific activities that you can do within your business to help you go through the process of competitors analysis. But first, let's talk about the why. When I was involved in health and fitness, I noticed a lot of trainers would just tell people what to do the whole time and go, you must drink water and you must eat this and you've got to do that. But what I found is that when you understand the why, you're more likely to do it. So let's talk about some of the whys you should be doing it. Well, firstly, positioning. You can understand your business and where it fits in the market a lot better. So you actually get better at understanding your own business by just doing this. And number two is you can identify opportunities. So you can spot gaps in the marketplace where you can actually step out and shine, and you can actually create, you can cut through the gap in the marketing. Number three is you can learn from successes and mistakes. So you can see what's working or not working in your own business, in your competitors' businesses as well, and you can start to make better decisions for moving forward. Number four is differentiation, and it's about creating that unique selling proposition, which is going to set you apart from everyone else. And really, it's about how you're going to communicate that as well, because so many people have got amazing offers and amazing things, but it's actually how they communicate it that becomes the problem. And this is why this competitors analysis is really cool, because when you go and you have a look at it, and you're reading what they're writing, if it's not making sense to you and it's not making sense to a stranger, then they're going to be on the back foot. And now there's a huge opportunity for you to actually get onto the front foot. And the last one, it's about really being customer focused. And that means you can better tailor your offers or the way you communicate it to better meet your customers' needs so that you can actually get a yes, because marketing is all about getting a yes. Yes is a lead or yes is a sale. So it's about meeting your customers' needs, but it's also about understanding the process as well. So for example, the way that they buy or the order that they buy and the way that they do things, the sequencing of that, you can get better at doing that so that you can lead them to the sale a lot better. So what can you learn? Well, firstly, you can learn about your competitors' strengths and weaknesses. And as I said, it'll then shine a light on yours as well. You can also get customer perceptions by looking at their reviews and the feedback they get. So for example, if you go and have a look at all their reviews and you see people are complaining about this or complimenting them on that, you can go, okay, well, how are we now going to differentiate ourselves, and how can we actually go out and get reviews that can shine a light on what we do that's a lot better. You can also look at their marketing, messaging, tone, and branding. And again, look at how you're going to differentiate yourself. And then look at the channels that they're utilizing and the methods or the processes that they're using to generate leads and sales. And then you can look at strategies that are working or have failed in the industry, again, so that you can differentiate yourself from it. So the learning that you get as a business owner or as a marketing manager is absolutely insane when you do this. So I highly recommend that you do it for about 3 to 4 different businesses that you aspire to be like. And if you're a location-based business, make sure that you choose them within your location as well. But you want to choose businesses that hold themselves to a standard. You don't want to be doing a competitors analysis on a business that obviously has not set themselves up online very well, because it's not going to give you a good example. So let's look at the step-by-step now on how you go about doing this. Well, firstly, you've got to define who your competitors are. So if you're a service-based businesses, you want to identify businesses that have similar offerings in the region that you are servicing, as well as in the niche that you are the niche that you are actually practicing as well. For e-commerce businesses, you want to focus on brands that have overlapping product categories. So ones where you sell similar things and you have similar customer bases and price ranges. And again, when we're doing this, we don't need to go now and cut our prices, because obviously when you are coming up with your pricing point, you need to, work with figures and make sure that you are actually making a profit within your business. But you do have to look at what everyone else is selling. And if you're more expensive, that's fine. That then gives you an opportunity to better communicate what you do and the value of what you do and the quality of what you do to justify the pricing, because people will pay whatever. They won't pay because of pricing when you make it about connection, when you make it about value, when you make it about, selling a quality product. And the last thing that you could do to define your customers is you could also use tools. So you could use Google search, local business directories, your social media platforms, or even competitor mapping software. And then you want to gather all this data across all these categories, whether or not you want to put it in a spreadsheet. I love a whiteboard. I'm a whiteboard girl, so I put it out and I do like the spider graph, put everything into categories, and I brain dump everything onto a whiteboard. Some people like to use Excel or Google Sheets, or, as I said, competitor mapping software. So that you can then sit and observe and have a look at where you can differentiate and what you can do better, because that's the ultimate thing. It's not just about looking at your competitors. It's about then going, well, what can I do better in these areas? So let's just divide it up into categories. And I actually kind of did it like in a, as I said, I like a mind map. So I like to do a whiteboard with a mind map and do mine that way and break it up into categories. But you could do it also sort of in a wheel of life, sort of in a circle as well, and cut your wheel up and brain dump into all those sectors as well. It depends how you are. If you're a little bit more creative like I am, or a little bit more analytical, that's fine. So category 1, we want to be looking at marketing. So you want to look at your activities, like you want to analyze their website, their sales pages, the categories that they have. Have a look at the blogs, the frequency of the blogs, the call to actions in the blogs, and then go to the social media platforms and go, which are their primary platforms, which are their sub platforms? Because I always say you should spend 80% on your primary platforms and 20% on your other. Look at their primary platforms and ask yourself, are they actually the right platforms for you to be on then too? And then you want to look at their content frequency. So they're posting once a day, once a week, once every 3 days. But you want to look at their tone. You want to look at the engagement that they have. So their likes, their comments, their shares, and the type of content that they're creating. And as I said, the consistency, the day, time, and those that are working or not working. You can also track the ad campaign. So for example, you can go into the Facebook ad library, and a lot of people don't know that you can do this, but you can go onto someone else's Facebook page and you can actually go into the About section. You can go to page transparency and you can see the ads that they've got running at the time. But you could also use another platform called SEMrush, which will show you their paid activities too. So the key questions you want to be asking yourself is, what topics or formats resonate most with their audience and then yours? How do they use their visuals and their branding? So, colors, fonts, logos, things like that. And how often do they use them and where and how? And then are they consistent across all the platforms, and what does that look like? So then in your second category, you want to be looking at the sales process. So usually you send them from social media, you're now going to send them to a website, and you want to look at what those call to actions are and what that sales process looks like. So you could mystery shop their service to make a small purchase from their store. I recommend doing this, and then I track the exact flow. So I'll write the flow of the competitors analysis going from a social media post it said to click into the bio. From the bio, I clicked into their link tree. From their link tree, I clicked through to their shop. Then there was a pop-up that gave me a subscribe or a first-time buyer's coupon. And then from there, it immediately showed me the coupon and asked me to apply it at the cart. And that was, and then let say what the offer was. From there, I was sent an email. The email was about this, and then I was sent another series of emails, and this is what it is. So that you can go and have a look at the customer flow and go, what is that overall sales purchase? So mystery shopping is a great way to do that. You want to be assessing the process right from the social media content through to the inquiry, right through to the post-purchase follow-up. So, did you add something to a cart, then not claim it? Did you get an abandoned cart sequence? Did they retarget you based on things that you bought afterwards? You want to be tracking that whole end-to-end process. And then you want to take notes of things like the time that was taken, the tone of the communication, and even the tools that they use. So I like to look at the tech stack at the bottom of the emails, for example, with the bottom of forms, you'll actually be able to see what platform they're using. So I take note of that too. So key questions you want to ask is the sales process seamless? Did they personalize your communication? And are they effectively following up either with the lead or with the sale? So category 3 is lead generation, and you want to make sure, obviously, that everyone has, that you and them all have lead generation, proactive lead generation tactics in place. So you want to download their lead magnets or subscribe to the email list. So download each of their lead magnets and see what happens. Subscribe and see what happens. You want to explore their opt-in forms and their landing pages. Have a look at the type of content that they're creating. What type of convinces are they using? What type of connection are they using? And what are the required fields when you're asked to fill out forms? And then observing their call to actions the whole time. So what is the next step that they're sending you to on their website? So key questions you want to be asking yourself is, are their offers compelling and relevant? And I would say to a stranger, does it make sense? Does it catch the right person from scrolling? Is their lead capture process simple and intuitive? And how are they nurturing leads? So from the time you've downloaded the lead magnet, you want to follow those nurture sequences and see what happens. How long is that nurture sequence and where do they then take you to? So category number 4 is email marketing. And for me, one of my biggest strategies when it comes to social media marketing is get people the hell of social media, and that means into email marketing. So activities you want to look for is there a newsletter? How do they ask you to subscribe for the newsletter? Is it simply a subscribe? What is the language that they're using? Take note of the frequency of the emails, the tone and the type of the emails that they send. Are they educational? Are they all salesy? Are they soft salesy? Are they engaging? Are they personable? You want to pay attention to promotional emails, to drip campaigns, and the personalization that they have in those emails. So some key questions to ask yourself is, do their emails provide value, or do they feel overly sales focused? How do they address pain points? Do they segment their audience effectively, or do you feel like you've just been shoved into a whole email list? The next thing I like to do is also look at their subject lines and their email signatures. So category number 5 then is unique selling proposition. So how do you identify their key value propositions and how do they position themselves? So how do they package their offer and how do they talk to their audience and compare the benefits, I call these benefit bullets, or the value that they're offering in the offer? Some key questions that you want to be asking are things like, what makes their offer unique, or even the way that they present it? Is it in a visual? Is it in an infographic? Is it just in words? How do they actually display it? And compare the benefits to you. Are they effectively communicating their USP? And is there a gap that you can fill in your service? So for example, if you know that you add in this, and that, you're going to make sure that when you are actually talking about your offer, that you don't leave that out, because people are going to be price comparing. They are going to be going and look at your competitors and comparing what you offer versus them. And if they're doing their due diligence and doing that, you want to make sure that you are standing out, right? So number 6 is communicating your USP through your content marketing. So you want to analyze how they highlight their USP in their blogs. So what blog content are they creating? What social media content are they creating? And what sales copy are they using? So I always call it, your glitter or your juice? What are those key messages or those mission statements that they're using? Not so you can copy them, but that so you can have your own and that you can differentiate yourself from them. And then you also want to review their case studies, their testimonials, and their statistics that they're showcasing, and then have a look at yours and go, well, you know, how can you go and get those testimonials or those success stories or those statistics so that you can now position those or show those, for example. You can also do this with credibility. So for example, you might have won 3 or 4 awards, and now you notice that, you know, they've put their 1 award up, but you've won 3 or 4. So you can say you're a multiple national or international award winner. So having a look at that, or for example, they might not put up that they're a registered business, and you go, you know what, we're actually registered. We're going to put it up that we're a registered certified business. So key questions to ask is, how do they address the customer pain points? Is their messaging clear and persuasive? Are there areas they're not addressing where you can actually excel at creating content around this? So category number 7 is your brand differentiation. So examining their colors, their fonts, their logos, and their overall branding. But more importantly, I find that this is the most important thing, comparing their tone and their style of their messaging. So again, that juice, the glitter, those key messages, they are the absolute most important thing. So is their brand cohesive and memorable? How does their visual identity resonate with their target audience? And how are they consistent across platforms? So category number 8 is customer reviews. So you want to go on and read all their reviews. So on Google, on Facebook, Trustpilot, Yelp. You want to note common themes in positive and negative feedback. This is a ChatGPT activity that you can do where you can actually put all of that into ChatGPT and go, this is what our competitors' audience say about them. This is what our audience says about us. How can we differentiate ourselves, which is so super easy to be able to do right now. But I do encourage you to go through and use your HI as well, your human intelligence, and make sure that that you fully know how to communicate what you do that's better than your audience. You'll learn so much about your business. So what are their customers praising them for? What reoccurring issues are customers highlighting? And how do they handle complaints? And again, you can actually put that into ChatGPT as a prompt and ask it to give you those answers. So how do you use GPTs? Now, if you're not sure what a GPT is, you know, in ChatGPT, there are GPTs that are already formed that are trained to do one specific thing, and you can go in and find a competitor's analysis GPT. So to do that, firstly, you want to go in to ChatGPT and find yourself a prompt. Sorry, they've decided to mow the lawns right now, so I'm just going to close that door. So go into ChatGPT, find a GPT that is around competitors analysis. So many of them have got reviews, so you can go in and you can find one that's been used very well. That'll be a good indicator that that's a good one to use. And in there, it may actually prompt you to answer a couple of questions, but here are some questions that you should consider putting into the GPT. So firstly, you would say a prompt like analyze and the competitors' names, website, social media, and customer reviews. Summarize their strengths, their weaknesses, and areas where my business can differentiate itself. You could feed it with specific data. So example, their URLs, their social media links, and add in some of their reviews. Then you could ask the GPT some targeted questions like, what is their tone and style in communication? What are their most used call to actions? How do they position their brand visually? And then you want to compare the results to your business. So you want to use the GPT then to find gaps in your own marketing and opportunities for you to improve. And then you want to use the GPT to regular check and analyze competitors' updates and adjust your strategy. So I'd recommend that you do this at least every 6 months to go in and go, right, have you noticed anything changed? What has changed in the marketplace? Have they changed because we've moved into a new season now? So for example, if you're an e-commerce business, winter and summer may be completely different with seasonal and trending. The key messaging may change. So you want to go in then and you want to run it again and make sure that you're still on track when you go and you do your marketing plan. So competitors analysis is not about you copying what they're doing. A competitors analysis is about you learning about who else is out there, how they are doing things, so that you can become a better business owner and understand your business better, so that you can effectively communicate it online better. If you have not done a competitors analysis yet, I highly recommend that you go and that you do this as an exercise. This time of the year is a great time to do it, as we are reaching the end of the year right now. It's a great time for you to sit down and spend, I'd say, 2 to 3 hours really doing this around 3 to 4 different businesses. What you learn from it is going to blow your mind and change the way that you do your business. It is going to change the way that you market. It's going to change the way that you effectively communicate. And it is going to give you so much inspiration and motivation to do things differently within your business. So if you haven't done it, go ahead and do it. I encourage you to use the human intelligence part first, do it first yourself, then go through and use the GPTs, and you'll be absolutely blown when you put the two of those things together. So this is Chantal Girardi from Online Business Marketing, and thank you to those of you who are watching online. If you have not already, jump onto the website onlinebusinessmarketing.com.au and download some free resources that we've got there for you. If you'd like to be part of the live audience, you do need to be a paid member, so you can check in the notes below how you can do that. Now I'm going to say goodbye, and we're going to go to our live audience and ask questions.